Hello, welcome back. So today I am working on journal number 4 for journal ideas, journal cover ideas, or journals, whatever you want to call it. So today I have this book that is from 1858 that I got, I don't know, a few months ago at a bookstore in Providence here in Rhode Island. And I've been wanting to do something with it, so I thought this would be the perfect time to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do, as you can see, the spine has already fallen off. I actually have the spine cover somewhere. I was looking for it and can't find it. I put it up where I would know where it was, but you know how that goes. So I am just basically going to cut my signature off of the covers and make a new spine and do the journal cover. So I just thought I would bring you along. Trying not to cut myself. My last adventure with this was not good. And I will definitely use these book pages for sure. They're all in German. There we go. Put this aside. Get that aside. I want to, first I'm going to wipe this off. This book has a lot of wear and tear, you know, being as old as it is, but I don't mind that. I really don't mind that. How dirty that was. Ew. Looks better already. I think this is a 2-diaper wipe job. This cover, as you can see, is a bit more worn, but it's not broken. And I like the size of this. This one is actually 7 inches tall, 4.5 inches wide, and it had a 1-inch spine. You can see the corners are pretty worn. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, decide what I want. I think this was, yeah, that was the front. This was the back. These corners is pretty funny because one of them looked round to me, but it's actually not. So let me see here. Try to cut some of this off. I think this one's pretty good actually, not too bad. really pretty amazing when you're working with this stuff to think how old this is, you know, who it belonged to. Pretty incredible. So, I tell you, if I would have had brown bookbinding tape, I would have used that, but I don't. When I ordered bookbinder's tape, I ordered brown and I received black, and I just kept it. So, this is what I plan on doing with this one. I've already cut out a 1-inch spine by 7 inches. I'm going to make this slightly curved, a slightly curved spine. And I could probably do it without this step, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Because, yeah, that's pretty sturdy. So I think I want to use, I'm going to try this ruler today. And all I'm going to do is cut, not all the way through, but let's see, maybe I'll use this. Maybe this will help me. I'm going to start in the center roughly. I'm going to just cut not all the way through, just slightly, a couple times, and I'll do another one here. Oop. That's how I cut my thumb last week, working on a journal cover, which was not fun. So I'm just putting 3 on this small spine. I don't know if you can see, oh well, I might need to go a little bit deeper. Didn't get deep enough. I was scared of going too deep. Let me just line this up again. But this is just going to give us a little bit of flexibility to round the spine. If you're using like cereal box or something like that, sometimes just with the glue process, it gets the spine wet enough that you can just mold it with your hands. That you don't have to do this, but I am actually using a piece of chipboard. Still not getting. Make sure I'm using the right side of the blade. Oop. Sort of veered off, but that's okay. And I think part of the problem is wow, it's a small piece of chipboard too. I just don't want to go all the way through with my cut. There's a fine line. The center still doesn't want to. There we go. We're getting it. Just sort of like woodworking, you know, when you want the piece of wood to bend. I want to make sure 3 cuts are going to do this. I think that'll be fine. I just want it to have a slight curve. Yeah, that'll be fine. So then the next thing that I'm going to do, I've cut a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to cover this get my pad out here. I'm just going to use some PVA glue. Trying to find a brush that will work. My brushes, I have really been negligent with my paint brushes lately. Now don't tell me my... Oh, there it goes. So I am just going to slather some glue on here. You know what? I wonder if I'm going to change directions here a minute. I think I'm just going to use this fabric. This is just painted muslin is all it is. And I think I was going to put a piece of cardstock over the top of that, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to cover this. Get it in about the center. Doesn't really matter because we can cut the fabric down. But I'm just gluing this fabric over the curved side of the spine. And this is going to be covered anyway. Okay. And then the next thing I'm going to do is get my book covers. What am I doing here? Like this. Get my book covers. Ooh, I put that on there crooked. I'm going to have to be careful the way I line this up. Sheila, Sheila, Sheila. Think about this a minute. Yeah, because I'll fold that over. Wow, I might want to straighten my fabric out here a little bit. Just to help me align my spine. That's good enough. Alright, and then what I'm going to do, put glue on the inside here. Sort of making this up as I go along, doing it a little bit different than how I normally do. But I think this will work just fine. I want to get my spine up against my book, make sure it's lined up at the top and the bottom. Move that down. Make sure I'm leaving a little bit of space between the book and this fold here, so when the book opens and closes. It's not rubbing up against there. And then line this one up. Make sure we get this even. I could have secured this on the outside. Maybe that's what I should have done. Yeah, I think that's what I am going to do. Sorry, book. Just want to see something here. Yeah, because I'm covering that anyway. I'm going to glue that to the outside. Change of plans. Now that I got glue all over everything. Change of plans, change of plans. And this will be fine. You'll see what we're doing on the inside anyway. Alright, so, yeah. I'll just, is that going to cover? I think it is. Might have cut my fabric down too short, or too narrow. But I'm going to cover it again, so I don't think it matters. Just do this way, make it a little bit easier maybe. Let's see. Alright, so I'm going to put my spine up against this. Make sure my bottom and top are aligned. Oop. Make sure I'm leaving enough room for the book to open and shut. And then align it on this side. Same way. My fabric should have been a little bit wider, but I'm not going to fret about it because I am covering it. Make sure my trying to make sure I'm leaving enough room in between here. And then I'm going to take my flip it over, just making sure giving myself enough room. Flip it over. I think I got a little bit more room on that side than I do on this side, but we're still okay. Then I'm going to take this piece of cardstock, and I'm going to work on the inside of the spine first of all. I want to make sure it's lathered good, because that's going to give me some flexibility with my spine if I need to shape it again. Because it's so wet, it enables me to do that. So I'm just going to line this up. Okay. I'm going to glue this down. I like to use my bone folder just to get in between the front and the back covers with the spine. And then we'll put some glue on this side. We're going to do the same thing. Slowly find where our book is meeting. There we go. And I don't care what this looks like. This is just how I'm putting my spine on. And now if you want, because of how wet the glue is, it has softened up the spine. That's why I'm saying you probably don't even have to make the cuts. And especially if you use like cereal box or something like that, it becomes even more pliable. So you can get the curve that you want. I don't want a huge curve, but I do want some curve. And then, let's see, I'm going to have to give this a minute to dry. Because I tell you what I'm going to do. I think with this one, I've never made a signature, and I don't know the technical term for it, but I've never made put a signature in that you only connect here so that it's loose here, so that when you open the journal, it helps the pages to lay flatter. So that's what I have in mind for this, because this is the type of book this was anyway. So then the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down. Go ahead and, well, I think I'm going to cut this first. I'll use these scissors because I don't want to, thought I could, let's see if this helps. Just not liking the way that's going to lay. Thought I could just fold that over. I don't know if I need to cut that or not, but I will. And I'm really not concerned about the, well, I mean, I don't want to go gung-ho, but not concerned about the amount of glue because I'll let this dry. But at the same time, it's given me some flexibility with my spine. Just keep playing with your little edges here, pushing them down. There, that's perfect. And then, that's why I'm glad I didn't have my good fabric scissors out. I'm dangerous with glue. What I want to do for the outside is not very much, because I don't want to cover this. I want it to look old, and so I don't want a bunch of decoration. But the one thing, I don't know if I should let this dry before I do this, or if it would matter. I have this, and I thought it would be very pretty to cover the spine with that. That's why I didn't mind that my painted fabric was that black. And I really don't mind that that brown is showing either. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this down. And I'm just going to, my lace that I have here is a little bit narrow. I'm just going to pull it tight so that I can cover the whole thing. And I sort of like this here at the bottom. I don't know. Do I want that or not? Maybe I'll just do that. Dry my scissors off. Oh no, I liked that. Maybe I'll, don't want that. Sort of like the idea of that being down on the bottom. Take this, whoops. Let me just turn you off and I'll turn you right back on. Okay, I'm back. So I am just wondering, I think that's the back. This is the front. Doesn't really matter. Do I want that along the bottom? I sort of think I do. I think I'm going to go with my first. I'm just going to cut that a little bit longer than what I thought. So all I'm going to do to this is just glue this around the spine. And then, this is like one of the quickest projects ever. I've allowed my glue to, of course I have. Oh, I just threw it on the floor again. Somewhere on the floor is my bent up paper clip that I keep in this. I should probably have let my spine dry, but I'm just going for it. And I figure it'll give me more playroom to adjust my spine to where I want it because of the glue that I have on it. So See, I think that's going to be my front. So I want this to be my bottom. I just want to make sure I'm positioning this so I can stretch it. That glue will dry, so I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure I cover on both sides. That's good. All right. So I am going to let this dry. I'm going to leave this long for right now. Do I have this equal? I don't think it really needs to be. I'm going to let this dry, and I will be back to show you the end result. But like I said, while the spine is so wet from the glue, it gives you the flexibility to make sure you have the right curve you want on your book. And I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm just going to set it like that, let it dry, and I'll see you after a while. Hello everyone. So everything has dried now. You can see the inside. And then I mentioned the type of how I'm going to secure my signature in here. So when we get to the part where I'm filling up the journals that we've made, I'll show you that, because I will put a piece of fabric in here to cover this before I attach my signature. But I can't, well, I could actually put the fabric here now, but I can't really finish the inside of my journal, the front and back, until after I attach my signature. So we'll do that together coming up. But I'm real pleased with the way this looks. I know it's rugged. It's not rugged. Well, it is rugged, but rustic is the word I'm going for. But I love that because, as we talked in the beginning, this book was from 1858. So I am completely happy with keeping it like that. I like the little green popping through. I think this will be a real cute journal. I really love the size of it as well. So anyway, there you have it. Quick and easy. I'm sure it's not everyone's taste, but I love it. And for now, I'm going to leave this extra up here. Of course, I put that on purposely, this little bottom part here. So as I assemble the journal, then I'll make more decisions on if I cut that off, if I put something on the front. Right now, I am completely happy with the way that it looks. I like keeping it like this. I just love this journal cover. So I will be back soon. Bye-bye.